Welcome to the next lecture. After building the header in the last lecture, let's build the features section right now. So this is the nice clean features section we'll build based on my sketch. Just a nice heading, some text, and then the features explained in 4 columns. This should not be so hard, right? So in this lecture, we'll learn some new things. We'll learn how to put content on a website directly from CSS with the After pseudo class. We'll use the Fluid Grid for the first time in order to build the For Features column. And we'll also use beautiful icons in those columns as well. So, let's go. So this is where we left our project after the last lecture. The header is all built. Now it's time to start adding the first section, and in HTML we actually have an element for that, which is called section. And this is just like the header, it's a container so that we can tell this is a section. So I'll call this section features. And now let's start with the title and with the paragraph. We'll put that in a row. So class row, because of course we want this centered. And now let's put a heading here. Now each web page should only have one H1 element, which means only one main heading. We already used that main heading here, and so for now in each of the sections we will put an H2 title. Let's see what content we have for this section, and here it is. I will copy all of it actually and put it down here, such as I did the last time. Now, I already showed you how to make comments in CSS. Now I will tell you the same thing for HTML, and it's very easy. Just like this. You see everything turned gray here, and now to close it, it's just like this. And now this is a comment, and it will not appear anywhere. And I can just leave it here until we use all of this text. So the title here is this one. It is right here. Okay. Get food fast, not fast food. Okay, instead of this, I actually want a larger dash. That's called an M dash. And in HTML, we have a thing called HTML special characters or special entities. And to write those, we start with an ampersand. And in this case, I already know how it's called. It's M dash. So instead of writing that dash, I write this HTML code. And you can find lots of tables on the internet about this. And I will also include a link in the course ebook where you can find lots of HTML entities. Alright, this is for the heading. And now let's add the text as well in form of a paragraph. And of course we need a class name here, and I will call this long copy because it's a long paragraph with lots of text, and copy stands for copyright, which is like the text for websites. So in this paragraph we'll put this text here. We'll actually delete all the text we already used. So put this text right here. As we did with the header, I will start by building the HTML, and the CSS will be then used to format all of this. And now let's start using the grid like a pro. And in order to do that, we have to start a new row. Just close this. And now inside of this row, we make a div for each column. Div class again. Now each column needs the call class. And this comes here from the grid CSS file. So we don't have to worry about this. We just use this call class. So each each column needs a call class. Now we have 4 columns. So each of those 4 columns will have this class, span 1 of 4. And again, we can check this here in the grid file, grid of 3 and grid of 4. So each of our columns will have a width of 23.8%. Alright, back here. So let's put some more text here. I think that these things here are like titles of each of the features. So let's make another heading element with these. We already used H1, H2, and now it's time for H3. Alright. And now the text below this, and again in a paragraph. I'm not going to worry about the icons for now. The icons will also go inside of this column, but I will just leave this for the end because we so far have not talked about it. So now I will just copy this 3 times and then fill this with our text. It's kind of boring, I guess. Yeah, you will see that part of your work will always be copy and paste, and you probably will get used to it. And the last thing right here. Okay, that's it with text. So we already used all the text. From here, I will save this, and now let's see how it looks like in the browser. And it's down here. Alright, not so cool, right? What's missing here are our icons. So let's fix that, and we will use a beautiful icon font called Ion Icons. Here it is. So Ion Icons. Don't worry, this link is once again in the course ebook. And we will start by downloading it to our computer. So it takes some time. And here we have it. Right inside our folder. And let's extract it. And what do we have here? We have a bunch of files, but we actually only need 2 things. We need these CSS files and these font files. We actually need this Ion Icons minify CSS. We will paste this inside our vendors folder CSS, because you already know it's a file that we got from the internet. And then the fonts, because it's an icon font. This also comes with the icons in form of images, but we want the fonts. So let's copy this entire folder Windows. Okay, there already was a folder here, so I will replace this. And this is our icon font here. And now, how do we use this? I actually shouldn't have closed that. Icons, because this is where we will choose our icons. Alright, but first I will show you how we use it. So we want them right here, even before the heading. So we just write E class and then the name, close this, and then the name of an icon. For instance, imagine that we want this heart. We just need to copy the name of this class, paste it here, and then we'll have a nice little heart. Want to see? Well, of course not, because we didn't include the CSS file yet. So let's do that. I'll hit Command D to duplicate this. And alright, here it is, Ion Icons CSS. But now it will work. And here it is. Here is our heart. It's not where I wanted it. Let me go back. Of course not. I don't want it in this place. I want it here right before the H3. So let me paste it here. And now I have this icon right here. So, but that's not the icon that I want for this feature here. So let's choose just another one. So up to 365 days per year. Well, which of these could look good for that? Well, these are a lot, really a lot. You will need some time to go through all of them. And I choose to go with these icons here. These are iOS inspired, which you can see from the name. And I really like those line icons. So I will choose all icons of this class so that we have some consistency here. And this looks great for the first feature, I think, because it's the infinity symbol and 365 days per year is kind of an infinity. So the next one is ready in 20 minutes, and we could use kind of a watch for that, like this one here. So copy it, paste it here. So class, paste and close it. And the next one is 100% organic. So let me see what we have for that. But first let's check if they're showing up here. Okay, they are. Cool. Now let me choose another one for the 100% organic. I'm going with this little carrot here. So let me just write it here. iClass, and last but not least, we have the order anything feature, and that could be like a shopping cart. Let's see if we find one. Here we go. Copy and paste. Alright, so this is our HTML. In the next lecture, we will format this so that it looks professionally designed. So don't wait, come with me to the next lecture.